Hello and welcome to Yoga by the Bay with Erin. Every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning, I have the pleasure of sharing my yoga practice with the community of Sarasota, Florida at beautiful Bayfront Park. And I want to share that with you. So, grab your mat, allow your imagination to bring you with me to sunny Sarasota, Florida. Let's start in a seated position. Before you close your eyes and draw your awareness inward, look around. Look around your surroundings and find something beautiful that lifts your heart and draws gratitude in. With that mental picture, then close your eyes, bring your awareness to your breath, your inhales and your exhales, and do what you can to make them equal, even. That is all you are doing right now. That is all you need to focus on right now. And now imagine you have a mirror in front of you. Let's take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, fog the mirror with your breath. So your open mouth sigh into that mirror. We're going to make the breath audible by using a technique called Ujjayi breathing. So on the exhale, you're going to seal your lips as you sigh into that mirror. Let's do this together. Take a nice deep inhale. Seal your lips. Through those sealed lips, sigh into that mirror. That sound, allow it to draw you in. The sound you hear. You can enhance the sound by closing down the back of your throat a little if you'd like. Use the sound to draw you back to your practice when your mind wanders. Use the sound off of your mat to bring you present. Because when you are present, you are at peace. You're not worried about the past or the future. You are just here. So let's be here now. Draw your awareness to the very base of your spine and root down towards the earth and then rise up towards the sky. Imagine you're creating space between each and every vertebrae as you lengthen upward. Coming to your belly button, tuck it in. Let's keep that drawn in so you're supporting your lower back. As you rise up towards your shoulder blades, let's draw them together behind you. Lift your heart with an open and lifted heart. Let's take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, release what you're holding on to that is closing down your heart. Release it. One more breath here. And then release. Opening your eyes if they're still closed. Let's inhale your arms all the way up to the sky. Bring your palms together and exhale through heart center. 2 more times. Inhale, reach it on up. Exhale, draw it in. Last one. Give me a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. I'm going to turn myself so you can see from the side view. So let's take your right hand behind you. Left hand comes to your right knee. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine. As you exhale, you want to face your heart towards the right side. See if you can draw your ribs towards the right side. How about glancing towards the back of your mat? Remember the breath. Breathe into this pose. Let's give this one more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. Left hand behind you, right hand goes to your left knee. As you inhale, lengthen upward. On the exhale, heart faces the left. Possibly bring the ribs to the left. Can you gaze towards the back of your mat? Focusing on the sound your breath creates. Allow it to draw you inward. One more breath here. And then very slowly come back to center. Bring your fingertips behind you. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart. Bring the gaze up. And breathe and make a commitment to do this daily, because so much of our lives are spent looking downward with our electronic world. So do this every day. Give your spine a much needed break. And maybe add a little gratitude as you're doing it. One more breath. And then very slowly release. Bring those fingertips forward to the top of your mat. So as you inhale, lengthen up through the spine. You have a long spine. As you exhale, lead with your heart. Come forward. Once you have found your edge, then begin to round down, drawing your nose towards your toes or the mat in any amount. You can even shift your weight side to side, bringing some movement into your hips. Do what you can to keep your booty on the mat. One more breath. And then very slowly rise up. Place your right hand to your right knee. Take your left hand, clasp the toes of your right foot. Lift your right leg up and start to sway side to side. This is called cradle the baby. So you can keep your baby at arm's distance, or you can tuck your baby into your elbow creases if you can keep the spine long. The best thing about yoga is every body is different. So do what works for you. Make sure you're flexing your toes, because that's going to protect your knee, bringing that movement in. One more breath. And then extend your leg out in front of you. Hold it with your right hand. Take your left hand, bring it to the pinky side of your foot. Have the thumb face down. So lengthen out that knee as much as you can, and then release your right hand to the back of the mat. As you inhale, lengthen up through the spine. On the exhale, here we go again. Heart faces the left, ribs towards the left, possibly glancing towards the back of your mat. Or not. Do what shows up for you. Breathing into this pose. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to the top of your mat. Bend your right knee and place your right foot to the back of the mat. Your left foot is to the top of your right thigh. Take your left hand behind your left hip. Reach your right hand up to the sky. Give me a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, lift those hips. So both hip bones are going up towards the sky. Now reach that right hand all the way to the back of the mat. Imagine you've got a rope around your waist, and every single exhale, you're being lifted up to the sky. You can allow your neck to fall back, your head to fall back, or you can support the head, giving it a little pillow with your hand. Breathing here, opening that front body. This is excellent for those of us that sit a lot. One more breath, and then very slowly bring those hips down. Replace your right foot to the top of the mat, and we'll do it all on the left side. Left hand, left knee. Right hand, clasp the left foot. Lift that left foot up. Flex the toes, and start cradling that baby. Again, baby can be way out here, or you can tuck the baby in. Making sure you're flexing those toes to protect the knees. Making sure that your spine is lengthened. And don't forget to breathe. One more swish. And then extend your left leg out. Hold it with your left hand. Right hand goes to the pinky side of the foot. Thumb faces down. Lengthen that leg out as much as you can, and then release your left hand to the back of the mat. Give this a nice deep breath, and on the exhale, turn. Face your heart to the left. Bring your ribs to the left. Can you possibly gaze to the back of the mat? Filling your heart, your lungs with your breath. Filling your heart with gratitude. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to the top of the mat, bending the left knee, placing the left foot to the back of the mat. placing the right foot to the top of your left knee, and your right hand goes behind your right hip. Left hand comes up to the sky. Give this a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, lift those hips on up and reach the left hand to the back of the mat. Or you can take that left hand to cradle your head and support your neck. Every breath, remember that rope around your waist as you are lifted higher to the sky, opening that front body. One more breath. And then very slowly bring those hips down. Replace your left foot to the top of the mat. This time have it meet the bottom of your right, so your knees are going out to opposite sides. Clasp your ankles with your hands and draw your feet in. So let's start those butterfly wings. So swaying here, lengthening up through your spine. One more breath. As we slow the butterfly wings, sit up nice and tall. Give this a nice deep breath, opening your heart. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Allow your heart to lead. See if you can allow those elbows to draw the knees out to opposite sides. Like we did earlier. So once you found your edge, then round into it and breathe. One more breath. And then very slowly release and rise up. We're going to come into a kneeling position, setting up for a modified camel. So make sure that your knees and your heels are in one line. Tuck your feet under. Take your hands and put them to the very small of your lower back. Use your hands to push your pelvis forward. Draw your elbows towards the back of the mat. Lift your heart, bring your gaze upward, but support your neck here. So this is a modified camel. You can stay right here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands to the tops of your heels. Still, we're drawing those shoulder blades together and we're lifting with each exhale. Support the neck. Allow the breath to create that space in your body. Let's give this one more breath. And then very slowly we come out of this pose, super slow. Take your time to support that back. Coming into a tabletop. So open your palms as wide as you can get them. So you want to have space in between your fingers and then place them on the mat directly under your shoulders. Your knees and hips are lined up, and don't forget to tuck the belly button in. We're going to come into a cow pose. So drop the belly, gaze comes forward. Press the mat away. Cat pose. Curl your spine. Gaze goes between your knees as, again, you press the mat away. Let's do a little cow-cat on your own. Allow your breath to guide you. Tune back into the sound your breath creates. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to that neutral tabletop position, placing your left hand in the center of your mat, right under your face. As you inhale, reach the right hand and gaze up to that sky. On the exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Take the right hand, reach it through, and hover to the left side. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, thread that needle. Last one. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, land on your right shoulder, placing your right ear on the mat and taking your left hand to the top left corner of your mat. Once you're settled, shift your weight to your right knee and extend the toes of your left foot to the back of the mat, and then very slowly, see if you can start to lift that left heel up to the sky. This is a balance challenge. So you really want to focus your awareness between distributing your weight from your right shoulder to your left hand. This is a great opportunity to really have to tune in to the present moment. Because if you don't, you'll topple. But if you'll topple, that's okay. Just come right back to join us. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to that neutral tabletop position. And now place your right hand in the center of the mat. As you inhale, lengthen that left hand and gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, thread that needle, reach over to the right side, hover 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, thread that needle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, land. Coming on your left shoulder, place your left ear on the mat. Take your right hand to the top right corner. Get yourself centered. And then shift your weight to your left knee and extend the toes of your right foot to the back of the mat. And then very slowly, can you start to lift that right heel up? Balancing here. Try it. Don't let fear guide you. We have so many things in our lives that we allow fear to stop us from doing. And how many of those things that we feared actually came true? One more breath. And then very slowly bring that right knee down and then lift yourself back up to that neutral tabletop position. Now extend the toes of your right foot to the back of the mat. Your foot is on the mat. Now shift the weight to the right heel. So now you're going to feel that calf muscle lengthening here. Send your breath. One more breath and lift your right heel up. Shift your weight to your right hands. Reach your left fingertips forward. Gaze comes to the top of your mat. So we want to keep that neck and spinal balance. One deep breath. Using your core, draw your elbow towards your knee. Curl it up like a cat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale, lengthen, and reach through your fingertips. Imagine you're in the middle of a tug-of-war and you're being pulled in opposite directions. And then place your left hand down and bend your right knee. Push that right heel up to the sky. So now we're really sending our awareness to the glute muscle. One breath here. As your right knee comes out to the right side, flex the toes of your right foot and see how high you can lift that knee. That's your starting point. That's the top of your circle, and start to circle forward. Make sure you're keeping your weight distributed between your hands. Reverse your circle. Let's go the opposite direction. And then very slowly bring that right back into your tabletop. We'll go to the other side. So extend the toes of your left foot back. Shift the weight to the left heel. Send your breath to that calf muscle. One breath. And then lift the left heel up. Bend. Shift your weight to the left hand and reach the right fingertips forward. Spinal balance. Your gaze is to the top of your mat. We want to keep that neck aligned. Give this a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, elbow to knee, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale, lengthen, reach. Here comes that tug of war. And then place your right hand down. Bend your left knee. Push the heel up. Engage that glute muscle. Send the breath there, and then left knee goes out to the left side. Flex the toes of your left foot and see if you can lift that left knee up as high as you can get it. There's the top of your circle. Circle forward. Reach the top each time. Weights distributed between your hands. Circle backwards. Reach the top. And then slowly replace that left knee into your tabletop. It's push-up time. So take your elbow creases and turn them towards the front of your yoga mat. That's going to tuck your elbows in. Give this a nice deep breath, and then lower yourself down. Press back up and shift your hips towards your heels. Child's pose. We're going to flow with this, okay? So inhale, high plank. Exhale, low. Inhale high, press back to child's pose. If you want to go a little more intense, lift those knees. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low. Inhale high, press it back to child's pose. Inhale high, exhale low. Inhale high. Press it back to child's pose. Inhale high. Exhale low. Inhale high. Press it back to child's pose. Keep it going. Inhale high. Exhale low. Inhale high. Press it back to child's pose. This is the last one. Make it your best one. Inhale high. Exhale low. Inhale high. This time, bring your knees mat distance apart. Allow those big toes to touch as you press back to child's pose. And as you're holding here, draw your awareness to your beating heart and send your breath there. Notice how quickly your heart rate decreases when you're breathing. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Take this lesson off the mat and into your daily lives. When life makes it that your heart rate is racing, just breathe. One breath, and then come back into that tabletop position. So this time, making sure your elbows, your arms, your shoulders are over your hands, your knees and your hips are aligned, and tuck your toes under. So let's give this a nice deep breath, and on the exhale, lift your knees just a couple of inches, hovering right there. One more breath. As you bring your chest to the top of your thighs, reach your hips to the sky, dip your head to the mat, to the earth. Crouching tiger. One more breath here. And then slowly make your way to your downward dog and do whatever downward dog shows up for you. Do you want to walk your dog? Do you want to have a stationary dog? Really doesn't matter, whatever your body is calling for. Just make sure that you've got a long spine, so you may need to bend your knees, dip your head to the mat, allow your neck to be soft, and breathe. Let's take a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, so important, release what is getting in your way for peace. Very simple. And then inhale your right foot up and bend your right knee. Stack your right hip on top of your left. This is scorpion pose. So your right foot is going towards the left side of your mat. And then lift that right knee up to the sky. Give this a nice deep breath. And then very slowly the right foot comes between the hands at the top of the mat and rise up. Rise up to crescent. So in crescent pose, your back heel is lifted. Your knee is stacked over the ankle. Your hips are forward, heart and hands are reaching. And you're breathing. Now take your left hand, reach it forward, right hand comes back. Give this a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, here we go again. The heart faces the right, the ribs come to the right. Can you glance to the back of your mat? Keep that torso straight up and down. On your next breath, both hands come to the sky, gaze comes forward. And then very slowly allow that left knee to come back to the mat as you untuck your toes. Inhale, reach through those fingertips. Exhale, bring those palms together. Then see if you can get the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press into your palms to turn to face the right side. With the knee stacked over the ankle, see if you can dip that left hip down a little bit deeper. One breath here, and then come back to center and place your left hand on the mat. Reach your right hand and your gaze up to the sky. Create a lot of space between your ear and your shoulder here. Press the mat away. Maybe allow a little gratitude in. How about a smile? And then bring your right hand to the back of the mat. Bring your gaze there as well. One breath here. And then the right hand comes to the outside of the right foot. Shifting your hips towards your heels, flex the toes of your right foot. So as you inhale, lengthen over the right leg. On your exhale, begin to bow. So we're deepening into this half split, sending your awareness to that hamstring muscle. So come into a half split or play with any version of a fuller split that shows up for you. Just send your breath there. We always take a little extra time with hamstrings because they really do cause a lot of lower back issues. Allow the words relax and release to go through your mind. Allow your muscles to relax and release. Allow your mind to relax and release. Giving this one more breath. And then very slowly bend into your right knee and tuck your left toes under. Lift the left knee off the mat. Plant your hands on the mat. Bring your right foot back to meet your left. You're in downward dog. What's your dog going to do this time? Are you going to go for a walk or are you just going to stand there and breathe? It's your choice. Just do what you can to let it go. Let go of what no longer serves you. And then inhale your left foot up and bend the left knee. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Scorpion pose. So your left foot goes to the right side. How about we take that left knee and reach it up to the sky. Push the mat away. One nice breath here. And then very slowly bring your left foot to the top of the mat between your hands and start to rise up. Rise up into crescent, making sure that the back heel is lifted, the knee is stacked over the ankle, hips are forward, heart and hands are reaching. Bring that gaze forward. Taking your right hand, reach it forward, left hand comes back. Give this a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, start to turn. Face the left with your heart, your gaze. Allow your mind to be calm. And then bring both hands to the sky, gaze comes forward, and very gently bring that right knee back to the mat as you untuck your toes. Next breath, inhale and reach through those fingertips. Exhale, place your palms together. And then the right elbow goes to the outside of the left knee. Press into your hands to turn towards the left side. Breathing here. Give this one more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. Right hand goes down, reach your left hand up to the sky and allow the gaze to go up. Remember, a lot of space between the ear and the shoulder. As you're looking up, as you're breathing, hopefully you're smiling. Now let's bring the left hand to the back of the mat. Gaze goes there as well. Send your breath one more time. And then slowly bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Shift your hips towards your heels. Flex the toes of your left foot. So give me a nice deep inhale here. And on the exhale, we're starting to bow. We're going deeper into this half split. Take your time. Allow your breath to soften. We're relaxing and releasing. Soften that hamstring muscle. Coming into any version of a split that shows up for you. Just breathe. Hamstrings are a great muscle to see how quickly it responds to the breath, how quickly it relaxes and releases. One more breath. And then gently bend into your left knee, tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee off the mat, and this time bring your right foot to the top of the mat to meet your left. So your feet are hip distance apart. Bend your knees generously, allow your head to be heavy like a rag doll. You can grab opposite elbow to hand and sway side to side. You can clasp your hands behind your back and reach them up to the sky as you draw your shoulder blades together and dip your head towards the earth. Most importantly, please release the burdens that you're holding on your shoulders. We are not meant to hold them, so let them go. So let's give this one more breath as you release your hands. And then very slowly, we're going to rise up. Root and rise very slowly. You want your head to be nice and heavy like that ragdoll. So are your arms. And when you get to standing, inhale those arms all the way up to the sky. Bring your palms together. And exhale through heart center. Pausing there. We're going to come to the top of our mat in mountain pose. And we've adapted something super cool here in sunny Sarasota. We show up in mountain pose how we want to show up in life. So we're going to press those big toes to the earth and reach all the way to your pinky toes because you come from a solid, grounded foundation. Open your palms. Be ready to receive life. Life is meant to be received. Every single second of it. We're here to experience it. We're here to learn from it, even when it's not what we expected. So with that open heart, open mind, let's inhale those arms all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive forward, place your hands to the mat. Place your hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands to the mat, walk your right and your left foot back. Come to high plank. You can always bring your knees down here. So we're going to shift your heels to the right side of the mat. Bring your weight to your right hand. Reach your left hand up to the sky. 3 hip dips. So dip your hips down and then lift them back up. We're working the obliques here. Dip your hips down, lift them back up. We have one more. Dip those hips down, lift them back up. High plank. We got another side. Heels go to the left, weight goes to the left hand. Reach your right hand up to the sky. And it's time to dip. Dip it down, reach it up. Dip those hips down, bring them back up. One more. Dip those hips down, bring them back up. High plank. Take a nice deep inhale in high plank. And as you exhale, lower yourself to your belly. And then press into your hands. You can come into baby cobra, just lifting your chest. You can come into a bigger cobra, taking the rib cages up. Tuck those elbows in, looking over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Now this breath. Imagine your heart is bursting through your chest as you inhale. And meet me in downward dog on the exhale. And breathe. And release. And let go. And inhale your right foot up. Exhale your right foot to the top of the mat between your hands. Drop that back heel down. And rise up to warrior one. So with warrior one, your hips are forward. So you're tucking the right hip back, bringing the left hip forward. Imagine they're headlights on a car. You want to go forward with the high beams. Reach those hands up. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Bring the gaze forward. Holding here. As you inhale, reach through the fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to clasp a fist behind your back. Now press your fist to the earth and reach your heart to the sky. Give this a nice breath and then bow forward. Track to the inside of your bent right knee. You can keep your head even with the knee, or you can go down a little bit more, dipping it to the mat and reaching your fist towards the sky, drawing your shoulder blades together. Humble warrior. And it is a surprise, I know that. But we need to have humility in our lives. We need to accept that there are other opinions. There are other opinions out there that matter. Let's give this one more breath, one more thought. And then very slowly rise back up and reach those hands up to the sky. Give this a nice deep inhale in warrior one. And then make your way to warrior two. So with warrior two, your knee is stacked over the ankle, back heels down, your torso is centered, it's squared off. Reaching your hands in opposite directions. Bring your gaze to your right middle finger. What did I do just there? I told my mind to do something. Remember, you can control your mind. So when your mind takes over and tells you something negative, you tell the mind something positive. So right now, say something beautiful about yourself to your mind. And then inhale, open your right hand. As you exhale, reach it to the sky. Left hand goes down the left leg. See if you can bend a little bit more generously in that right knee as you reach your right fingertips towards the back of the mat. You are now in Peaceful Warrior. So as you hold this pose, remind yourself to receive the peace, the peaceful energy that is swirling out there, but also send it back. One more breath, and then very gently allow your right elbow to come to the top of your right knee. Lift your left hand up to the sky, bring the gaze up. You can stay here, or you can take your right hand to the outside of the right foot, take the left hand towards the top of the mat. You can stay right here, or you can bend the left arm, place it behind your back, take the right arm under your right leg and come into a bind. You have options here. Choose which option works for you. Gently give this one more breath. Keep the front knee bent. And then very slowly rise back to Warrior Two. Gaze to the top of your mat. Say something beautiful to your mind again. And then inhale, open your right palm. Exhale, reach it to the sky. But this time you're going to straighten the front leg because we're setting up for triangle pose. So as you inhale, reach your right fingertips towards the back of the mat. As you exhale, right fingertips come towards the top of the mat. And then you choose between your calf or the mat as you lengthen your left hand up to the sky. Imagine you are lengthening out the crown of your head to keep your spine long. A little added bonus, we don't do this in class, but if you want to learn something new, you can bend into your front knee, take your right hand to the corner of your right mat, shift your weight to your front leg, and start to lift that left foot up. Half moon. So if you do take my class on a regular basis, try some of these fun different moves. On your next breath, bend into your right knee and then lengthen back to Warrior Two. Again, say something beautiful. Inhale, open your right palm. Exhale, one more Peaceful Warrior because we all could use some peace. And then bring both hands to the mat. Your right foot back to meet your left. Come into Downward Dog. Now you might want to take that dog for a little walk because you're bringing some movement into that right hip. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Let it go on the exhale. Inhale your left foot up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat between your hands. Drop that back heel down and rise up, Warrior One. Making sure knee is stacked over the ankle, back heel is down. This leg is long, this one is bent. Hips are forward, hands are reaching. Are you ready to get humble? Inhale, reach through those fingertips. Exhale, clasp them behind your back. Then your fists go down, heart reaches up as we bow. Bowing to the inside of the bent left knee, dip the head, reach the hands. Coming into Humble Warrior, remember, I love this saying, when you shine from the inside, you do not need a spotlight. Think about that. We don't need to be boastful. We can be humble. Take a nice deep breath and then slowly rise up and reach those hands to the sky. Nice deep inhale in Warrior One as you open to Warrior Two. Back heel's down, leg is long. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Your torso is straight up and down and your hands are at opposite directions. Gaze to that left middle finger. Train your brain. Train your brain to see the good in everything in life, even when they are not things that we were expecting. As you inhale, open the left hand. As you exhale, reach the left hand to the sky, right hand down the right leg. Can you go a little bit deeper in that front leg as you reach your left fingertips to the back of the mat? Another peaceful warrior. Really take the time to send the peace out into this world because we could use it. One more breath. And then very gently bring the left elbow to the top of the left knee. Reach the right hand and the gaze up to that sky. If you want to add on, you can take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, reaching the right hand to the top of the mat. You can go into that bind. All kinds of options here. Give this one more breath. And then very slowly rise back to warrior two, front knee back, back leg straight, gaze comes to that hand. Say something beautiful. As you inhale, open the left palm. As you exhale, reach it to the sky. Now straighten that front leg. So both legs long and strong to come into triangle. On an inhale, left fingertips go to the back of the mat. On an exhale, left fingertips go to the front of the mat and you hinge your hips to the opposite and then choose between your calf or the mat as you reach your right hand and gaze to the sky. If you want to add on, bend into your left knee a little bit, take your left hand to the top left corner and start to lift that right leg up, coming into a half moon. Wherever you are, we're going to lengthen out the crown of the head in order to keep the spine long. Give this a breath and bend into your left knee. And then gently rise back to warrior two. Gaze to that front hand. Tell your brain something positive. And then inhale, open your left palm. Exhale, reach it to the sky. Come into peaceful warrior. One more peaceful warrior because we all need it. And then bring both hands to the mat. Your left foot back to meet your right. Downward dog. Take your dog for a little walk here. Bring some movement into the left side. And then we're going to have some fun. So rise up on your toes. Bend your hips towards your heels. Knees come out to opposite sides. It's time for some frog hops. So see how many hops it takes to get you to the top of your mat. Give me a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, start your way up there. Once you get there, place your hands on your shins, halfway lift, forward fold, and then we're rising up all the way to standing. Reach those hands to the sky and through heart center. Pause. And again, meet me in mountain pose. Coming to the top of your mat, grounding your feet down, remembering you're from a solid foundation and you are never alone. You are surrounded by people that love you. Open your palms, receive that love. And as you inhale, reach your hands to the sky. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands on shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the mat, walk your right and your left foot back. You can press back into downward dog, hanging out there, or join me for a little vinyasa. So inhale high, exhale low. Choose your heart opener and meet me in downward dog. Taking a nice deep breath and letting go. For some reason, as human beings, we decide to hold on to the negative things that happened in our lives. I gotta tell you, there is no super glue in there. There is no Velcro in there. We need to let it go. You learn from it, you experience it, and you release it. So let's inhale your right foot up. As you exhale, your right foot comes to the outside of your right hand, then drop your left knee down, setting up for a lizard lunge. So shift your weight to the left hand. Take your right hand to the top of your right knee and gently press that knee away from you. See if you can peel the foot away from you so you can see the bottom of your toes, your feet. Now bring your gaze to the back of the mat or bring your gaze up to the sky, and then bend your left knee. You can take your hand to draw that foot in a little bit more if you'd like to. Give this a nice deep breath. As you release, bring your hand to the inside of your right foot. So you can be on your hands or your forearms here. We're going to hold here and breathe. Breathing into this deep lizard. And while you're holding and breathing, can you release? Again, we don't need to hold any of these emotions in. We want to release them. We want to learn from them, and we need to move forward, move through them. I love this saying by Michael Singer. If it is not happening in front of you, don't let it happen inside of you. If there are times when somebody is screaming and yelling at you, yeah, you have the right to feel upset. But if they're not there and you're just remembering the event over and over and over again, you gotta let it go. One more breath. And then press up to your hands. We're coming into a pigeon pose. So heel toe. Right foot's gonna go all the way to the left side. See if you can get it close to your left wrist and drop your right knee towards your right wrist. So use that left leg to help you center over your right shin. Flex the toes of your right foot. On an inhale, lengthen. On an exhale, fold in any amount that serves you. Coming into this pigeon pose. Breathing here, letting go. Let's give this one more breath and then slowly rise up. So we're going to come to your hands, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee off the mat, bring your right foot back to meet your left. You're in downward dog. And again, I'd recommend a walk of the dog because that right hip needs some blood flow. And here we go to the other side. So inhale, left foot up. Exhale to the outside of the left hand, drop the right knee down. Shift your weight to your right hand, take your left hand to the top of your left knee and push that knee away from you, bringing the gaze up or bringing the gaze back, whatever feels good for you. Bending that right knee. You can even clasp the foot and draw it in a little deeper. As you're looking up, breathe. Smile. One more breath, and then release. Bring the hand to the inside of the left foot, holding it on your hands or your forearms, and relax and release. Breathing here, sending the breath to the hips to soften. We store our emotions in our hips, so we also want to send the breath to release. Keeping in mind that once we start to let things go, more and more, we're going to dig a little bit deeper each time, and more will come up. We relax and release into it and let that go as well. Just allow the layers to come up. One more breath. And then come to your hands if you're not there already as we set up for pigeon. So heel toe. That left foot goes towards that right wrist. Drop that left knee towards that left wrist or any variation. And then use the right leg to center you over the left shin. Flex the toes of your left foot. As you inhale, lengthen up. On an exhale, bow it in. Bow it down and breathe. Really come into this yummy pose. Pigeon pose is a comfortable pose to just release in. Another saying that I love, when we're releasing the things that we hold on to that no longer serve us, one of the big ones is to forgive ourselves and others. Forgiveness doesn't change the past. Forgiveness changes the future. Let's give this one more breath as we very slowly press up to our hands. And now shift your weight. Shift your weight to your left side. You're going to take your right leg and you're going to swing it all the way to the top of the mat. Your left leg is bent and just simply walk the right foot over it. Take your right hand behind your right hip and then extend your left hand forward. As you inhale, lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, turn your heart to the right. Use your elbow. So you want to hook the knee and draw the knee in towards your torso. At the same time, I want you to push that hip down to the mat. So you want to feel this whole outer band lengthening here. One more breath. As you come back to center, you're going to stack your right shin on top of your left. So this might look different for every single person. You may be way up here, that's fine. Hold and breathe right there. Wherever you are, flex your toes. So you're protecting the knees. If you have the ability, bring the fingertips forward to shift the weight. If you want to go a little deeper, you can bow forward. Coming into this double pigeon. One more breath. Switching to the opposite side. So now take your right knee. So it's bent. Place it in the middle of your mat and walk your left foot over it. Left hand goes behind your left hip. Reach your right fingertips forward. On an inhale, we're going to lengthen up through the spine. And as you exhale, turn to face your heart to the left. Use the elbow. Draw that knee in towards your torso. But at the same time, press that hip down. Really feel that outer band lengthen here. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. And here we stack the left shin on top of the right. So again, you're flexing the toes to protect the knees. Possibly bring the fingertips forward or not. Just do whatever shows up for you. As you inhale, open your heart and either hold here or see if you can bow deeper. Another opportunity to relax, to release, to let go. Gently rise up and extend your legs out in front of you. Now, in class, we have a lot of fun with this one. We're going to go into boat pose, and if you can imagine, we are currently surrounded by boats in the middle of a peninsula in sunny Sarasota, Florida. So here we go. Take your fingertips, place them behind you. Take your core. So you're going to tuck your core in and up. Use the strength of that bind to lift your heels. You can keep your legs bent or straight. You can keep your hands here, or you can lengthen them out in front of you. Crossing the ankles 25 times, smiling the entire time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hold. Give this a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, draw your knees in and rock onto your back for a great big hug. A well deserved hug. And when you're ready, take your peace fingers, either wrap them around your big toes or take your hands to the outside edge of your feet, bending your knees, drawing them to your armpits. We're coming into happy baby. And most importantly, sway side to side. And every day, allow that inner child, that happy baby, come out and play. I've recently been sharing, and this seems to be going over very well, that if you take yourself so seriously, when you recognize that is happening, wherever you are, drop on the ground in a happy baby, and you will not take yourself so seriously anymore. You can even do a wide-legged straddle. Just have fun with it. And then extend your legs up to the sky, flex your toes. You can lay your hands alongside, coming into a legs up the wall pose. So you're telling your parasympathetic nervous system that flight or fight response to it's chill, to take a chill. You're safe, you're calm. You can do that, or you can come into a shoulder stand. So if you're coming into that shoulder stand, support your lower back with your hands. And then we're gonna stack the hips, the knees, and the ankles. You can point or flex your toes. Breathing here. And then very slowly start to bring your hips to the ground. If they're not there already, bend your knees. Gently place your feet as close to your booty as you can get them, and take your hands alongside so they're facing down towards the earth as we set up for a bridge pose. So inhale, ground down on the mat. Exhale, lift the hip bones up. Clasp the hands where those hips were. You can even come onto the outer blades of your shoulders to allow the heart to come in more. You can stay right here, or you can lift your right leg up and gently bring it down. You can lift your left leg up and gently bring it down. You can also bring those hips up to the sky. If you have wheel in your practice, you can come into a wheel, but do it mindfully. Take your hands alongside so your fingertips point towards the back of your mat, towards your feet. You press into your hands, elbows are up to the sky, and then go on to your head first. Get yourself balanced here, and then lift up from there. Wherever you are, whether you're in a bridge or a wheel, be gentle and kind to yourself. And as you release, very gently bring those knees in. Gently. And then extend your arms to a T. Draw your knees to the right side. Bring your gaze to the left side. If you want to go a little deeper, just take the bottom foot, cross it over the top knee, and then use the weight of that foot to draw the knee down. One more breath, and then switch sides. So your knees go to the left, gaze goes to the right. You can stay here or take the bottom leg, crossing it over the top knee. Whatever your body is calling for. Our bodies are amazing. Just listen to them. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. Wrap yourself in another hug. This time, see if you can draw your nose towards your knees, curling yourself into a little baby ball. Give me the biggest breath you've done this entire class. And then release yourself into Shavasana, that final resting pose. Just allow your hands to open, your feet are just extended. Feel the earth supporting you, and remember, you are the author of your story, your feelings and your experiences. How do we come about those? Your feelings are based on your experiences. Find the beauty. Find the lesson in every single one. And then relax and release it. Don't hold on. Be there to receive the next one. So let's welcome some small movements. So we're just gonna wiggle our fingers and our toes as we bring ourselves back to our body. And then draw your knees in and curl onto your favorite side in a fetal position. Before you do that though, create a pillow. Create a pillow for your head. And remember, self-care isn't selfish, it is necessary. And then very slowly, start to come back to that seat where we started and exactly how we started. Before you close your eyes, look around again, find something of beauty that lights you up, that just fills your heart with gratitude. Fill your mind with that image and close your eyes. Bringing your palms to your forehead. May you have peace in your thoughts. Lowering your palms to your lips. May you have peace in your words. Pressing your palms to your heart. May we all learn to filter our thoughts and our words through our heart. The light in me honors, recognizes, and boy, do I cherish the light that exists in each and every one of you beautiful yogis. Namaste.